First of all, we'll read fiction, A Christmas Story. The storyteller has bought an old roll-top desk. As he starts to renovate it, he finds a secret drawer with a small tin box inside. Attached to the lid, there is a handwritten note. Jim's last letter received January 25th, 1915. The storyteller opens the box and reads the letter inside, which is printed for you here. Although the story is a fiction, it is based on fact. In this story, British and German soldiers, enemies in the First World War, did celebrate Christmas together. In a land that belongs to none. Let's start the story. It is a letter written to Connie by Jim McPherson. There are 8 paragraphs. Let's read paragraph 1. In this paragraph, Jim told Connie that he was very pleased to tell him that they were all standing to in their trenches yesterday morning. It was Christmas morning. It was as beautiful a morning as he had ever seen. Paragraph 2. In this paragraph, he told that he was ashamed to say that it was the German soldiers who began it. First, they waved white flag, then they started calling out to us from across no man's land, "Happy Christmas, Tommy, Happy Christmas." Some of us shouted back, "Same to you, Fritz, same to you." Suddenly, some of them started coming towards us, waving a white flag. "Don't shout," someone shouted. And no one did. I thought that it was a trick and told the men to keep their heads down, but it wasn't a trick. Paragraph 3. In this paragraph, he told that one of the Germans invited us to have food with them. They had tinned meat. By this time, there were dozens of them walking towards us. Little Morris was the first up. "Come on, boys, what are we waiting for?" And then there was no stopping them. I was the officer. I should have stopped them, but I was one of them. I was a part of this. In the middle of war, we were making peace. Paragraph 4. In this paragraph, he told Connie that he could not express his feelings as he looked into the eyes of the German officer who came to him holding his hand warmly and said, "Hans Wolf." He further told him that he was from Dusseldorf and he said, "Happy Christmas" to me. "Captain Jim McPherson," I replied, "and a happy Christmas to you too." I also told him about myself that I was a school teacher. We shared our relations and his excellent tinned meat, and we talked. He spoke almost perfect English. We talked about her favorite writer and his favorite book, Far from the Madding Crowd. We talked about the character of his favorite novel. Paragraph 5. In this paragraph, he told that Hans Wolf had a wife and one son, born just 6 months ago. They were khaki and grey everywhere. They were smoking, laughing, talking, drinking and eating. Hans Wolf and I shared a wonderful Christmas cake, and he thought that it was the best he had ever tasted. There never was a Christmas party like it. Paragraph 6. In this paragraph, he told that the Germans brought out a football and told that there was a match between British and Germans. Hans Wolf and I looked on and cheered. clapping our hands and stamping our feet to keep out the cold as much as anything. At that time, I noticed that our breaths mingling in the air. It means that there was no differences between us. We are not the enemy. Hans Wolff said that a football match is better way to resolve this war because in football match no one dies, no children are orphaned, and no wives become widow. I told him that I would prefer cricket, then we British would be sure of winning probably. We laughed at that and together watched the game. Jim was sad to tell that Germans won by 2 goals, but Hans Wolff generously said our goal was wider than theirs, so it wasn't quite fair. Paragraph 7. In this paragraph, he told that the time came, and all too soon, when the game was finished and the cake and the tinned meat had run over, and they knew it was all over. He wished Hans well and told him that he hoped he would see his family soon. Hans Wolff told him that he would never forget those moments. Then he saluted and walked away from me slowly and unwillingly. He turned to wave just once and then became the part of the hundreds of grey-coated men going back towards their trenches. That night we heard them singing a carol. We gave them a rousing chorus of wild shepherds watched. We exchanged it for a while, then we all fell silent. We had had our time of peace and goodwill, a time I will cherish as long as I live. Paragraph 8. This is the last paragraph in this. Jim told Connie that by Christmas time next year, this war will be nothing but a distant and terrible memory. Both armies wished peace, and we shall be together again. With this, he finished his letter. Okay, now come to the questions at page 40. There are 10 questions. Question number 1 is, what was the significance of the white flag? In paragraph 2, you can find the answer. Question 2, what were the colors of German and British uniforms? Paragraph 2 and 3. Question 3, why did Jim, the writer of the letter, tell his men to keep their heads down? Paragraph 2. Question 4, how can you tell from the words of the German who was waving a bottle that his English was limited? In paragraph 3, you can find the answer. Question 5. Why did Jim not stop his men walking out into no man's land? In paragraph 3, you will find the answer. Question 6. What did Jim find out about Hans Wolff? Paragraph 4 and 5, you will find the answer. Question 7. What activities did the British and German soldiers shared on that Christmas morning? Paragraph 5 and 6. Question 8. What was the significance of the breaths of Jim and Hans mingling in the air between them? In paragraph 6, you will find the answer. Question number 9. Why does Hans think that a football match would be a good way of resolving the war? In paragraph 6 again, you will find the answer. And the last question is, why do you think Hans was returning unwillingly to his trench? Paragraph 7, you will find the answer. Read the paragraphs carefully and listen to the lecture again, and you will find the answers, inshallah. Okay, let's move on. Page 44. Second text is non-fiction, the Battle of Panipat. 1526. There are 5 paragraphs of this text. Let's read paragraph 1. In this paragraph, we come to know that after bringing Lahore under control, Babur and his army started towards the capital Delhi in order to defeat Sultan Ibrahim Lodi. On reaching the village of Panipat, Babur organized his force and noticed his inferiority in number. He had only about 15,000 men, of which only about half were fit for attack. But he was a skillful strategist and he had learned valuable tactical lessons in the battle with Uzbeks. Paragraph 2. In this paragraph, we are told that he had two talented Turkish gunners who had mastered the art of using cannons in warfare. Cannon was well known in Europe but not in the subcontinent at that time. Babur was very interested in firearms and big guns. He gave the order for all the carts to be tied together with raw hide rope to form a large defensive formation. The men and the cannons, protected by manteled shields, took up position between them. Behind them were the cavalry and the archers. Paragraph 3. In this paragraph, we come to know that Ibrahim Lodi hesitated to fight despite his 100,000 men and many hundreds of elephants. In order to encourage his enemy to attack, Babur sent his soldiers by night to harass Ibrahim Lodi's force. On the morning of 21st April 1526, the intensely frustrated Ibrahim finally attacked them. He forced Babur's right wing back, but his own army was swiftly overcome by the cannon fire, and the elephants were terrified by the noise of gunfire and panicked, making any further attack impossible. So, Ibrahim's force were quickly surrounded and destroyed by Babur's cavalrymen and archers. Paragraph 4. By midday, Ibrahim's camp was destroyed, although his body was not found until later. It was completely separated with his head, and the head was brought to Babur as a mark of respect to the dead Sultan. Babur later had a monument erected on the spot where he fell. Then very quickly after the battle he was concerned with protecting the treasures of Delhi and Agra from being robbed by his own victorious army. He sent his 17 years old son to Agra while he himself marched to Delhi, where he had said his prayers in the great mosque and declared himself Emperor of Hindustan. Paragraph 5, the last paragraph. In this paragraph, Babur was greeted by his son Humayun in Agra, who presented him with a magnificent diamond called the Kohinoor. Babur recorded that a gem collector estimated its worth as the whole world's expenditure for half a day. He immediately refused this rich gift and offered it to his son Humayun. Okay, now come to the exercise. First, vocabulary. Match the words from the text in the left-hand column to their definition in the right-hand column at page 45. First word is subjugate and its meaning is vanquish. Second one is strategist and the meaning is careful planner. Third one is talented and the meaning is gifted. Number 4, incite and the meaning is provoke or rouse. Number 5, harass and the meaning is pester and annoy. Number 6, stampede. Stampede means bolted or ran off. And the last one is pillage. Pillage means looting and plundering. Come to the next page, page 46. There are 8 questions. Question number 1 is, what was Babur's purpose in marching on Delhi? Paragraph 1. Question 2. Explain one advantage and one disadvantage which Babur had over Ibrahim Lodi before the Battle of Panipat. Again in paragraph 1 you will find the answer. Question 3. Why were the Turkish gunners so useful to Babur? Paragraph 2. Question 4. By how many men was Babur outnumbered by Ibrahim Lodi? In paragraph 2 you will find the answer. Number 5. Why did Ibrahim Lodi find it impossible to make an attack with his elephants? Paragraph 3. Question 6. How were the cavalry and archers important to the battle? Paragraph 3 you will find the answer. In question 7. What did Babur want to prevent happening in Agra and Delhi? In paragraph 4 you will find the answer. And the last one, how does the writer emphasize the value of the Kohinoor? In paragraph 5 you will find the answer. Okay dear students, listen to the lecture again and read the paragraphs and try to write the answers to this question in your neat notebook and also learn it by heart. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much.